Hello everyone, how are you all doing? I hope all is well and welcome back to the channel. Today I have an FPL video for all of you ready, so we're gonna talk about Game Week 9 and I'm gonna show you guys my team for this game week, and we're gonna talk about some potentially interesting transfers that I'm looking to do, and also at the end we're gonna talk about when I plan to use my wildcard for this season. And yeah, that's the plan for today. Now, unfortunately, I didn't make a Game Week 8 video. I missed that game week because my laptop broke down, so I didn't have anything to film the video from. But now I have a new laptop. I'm filming from the new one, and hopefully there won't be any trouble moving forward. Now, my rank, as you can see. Let's start first with the team that I had in Game Week 8. So for Game Week 8, my team did solid. It was finally a decent game week after a very annoying start of the season. So I had ended up on 67 points for Game Week 8, plus I took a minus for hit, so that comes down to 63 points. It's a decent game week, a huge green arrow actually, more than million places. I jumped in this game week, so I'm very happy with that, but my overall rank is still far from where it should be, and hopefully the next couple of game weeks will continue to be another green arrows and my rank will move to where I would like it to be. So yeah, 63 points for game week 8. Here you can see the team. Here is how my team looked for that game week. So I did a minus for hit and I got in 2 Aston Villa players for that week. So I transferred out Estupinian, who got injured before the game week, and also Brian and Mbeumo, who I really wasn't happy having in my team, especially because I watched the last couple of Brentford games and I wasn't happy with him as an individual, the way he played and where he was on the field, and also with Brentford as a team, as a whole team. I basically thought that Mbeumo is at this point had become either a penalty scorer or a blank, so nothing in between, which is not a good thing. When it comes to FPL, I would like to have, yes, it's nice to have a player that is on pens, but I would also like that player to be dangerous from open play as well, which Mbeumo at the moment doesn't seem to be. So I transferred him out as well, and I got in Metikash and Diaby in those 2 places. So that was my minus 4 hit for that game week. Now, unfortunately, both of these players blanked in this week. Metikash was somewhat close to a clean sheet, I would say, but the Wolves did end up scoring a goal in the second half, so no double clean sheet for my 2 Aston Villa players, but at least Pau Torres scored the goal for Aston Villa, which is a very good thing, and he got some bonus points as well, ended up on 10 points. I'm very happy with that, and their fixtures coming up are quite nice for clean sheets and for attacking returns, so I'm very happy to have 3 Aston Villa players in my team moving forward. Also a couple of returns from my Spurs players, James Maddison with an assist and Udogie with a clean sheet as well. No bonus points from any of them, but it's still decent. Son Heung-min blanked in this game, but I wasn't too surprised by that. My thought before the game week was that Son Heung-min is the type of player that he has a huge potential in him to score big in one game week. So for example, in game week 6, 2 goals, 14 points, a huge haul. Game week 4, 20 points, a hat-trick, but he isn't really that consistent. He tends to get a huge haul and then blank in the next 1 or 2 games, and that's the reason why I didn't captain him even though he played Luton this week, and instead I went with Salah captain for this week, who has been arguably the most consistent player this season so far. So 8 game weeks, he has returned in every single game week so far. He did blank in game week 7, but I'm not considering this to be a blank because he did manage to get an assist, correct assist that was wrongly disallowed by VAR, but the Diaz goal that everyone is talking about. That was a Salah assist. So even in this game, he did get an assist, and in every other game, as you can see, he has consistently gotten at least one return. So plus he played Brighton, who are a very weak defensive team and have kept 0 clean sheets this season so far. So that's the reason why I went with Salah captain for this game week, and it worked. Huge 15 points from him. 2 goals and 3 bonus points, amazing score, and I'm very happy to have him in my team. Definitely the best choice this season for me so far has been the fact that I started the season with Mohamed Salah, but the rest of the team needs to pick it up, to be honest. So yeah, the final score, like I said, 63 points into the top 3 million, even though this is a very average score so far, but hopefully the green arrows will follow. Now let's move to Game Week 9 and see how my team looks. Here is the bus team for Game Week 9, and it looks quite amazing if I have to say. 10 out of the 11 players at the moment have a home fixture. So let's start with the goalkeeper, Turner. He plays Luton at home. I have started, this is the third game this season that I'm going to start him in. The first 2 he didn't get any returns, so I played him when he played Sheffield United at home. Promoted team at home. I thought this would be an amazing game for him to get a clean sheet. Didn't happen. Then the same with Burnley, another promoted team at home. Another game in which I thought Crystal Palace, no Crystal Palace, sorry, Nottingham Forest would get a clean sheet. It wasn't to be. Now this is the third chance. I mean, Luton at home. If they don't manage to get a clean sheet in this one, then I don't know what to say. I mean, they might as well not keep any clean sheets until the end of the season. Luton Town is probably the worst team at the league this season, and they have them at home, so an amazing opportunity for him to get a clean sheet and for Nottingham Forest to get a good score. Spurs, also another team that I expect some points from this game week. Fulham at home, a decent fixture for a clean sheet and for potentially some attacking returns from James Maddison and Son Heung-min. I could see Spurs winning this game 2 or 3-0. So I'm very happy to have their players in my team. Salah, like I said, obviously Salah is definitely a keep all the way until I wildcard, possibly even after that. Everton at home, an amazing feature for him as well. I'm considering going for him as a captain, but we'll talk about that later when the deadline gets closer. Aston Villa, they play West Ham at home. This is a hard fixture for a clean sheet, I have to say. I really don't expect them to keep a clean sheet in this one. West Ham tend to score at least 1 or 2 goals pretty much in every game. But also West Ham do struggle defensively, I have to say. So I do expect attacking returns in this game, mostly from Diaby or Matty Cash. I would expect to get 1 attacking return from these 2 players, and if the clean sheet happens, it would obviously be a huge bonus. You never know what could happen. And then I have the 2 Man City strikers up front who play Brighton at home, a team that, like I said, is one of the worst defensive teams this season. Probably maybe even the worst statistically, I'm not sure. They have kept 0 clean sheets, I believe. Let me just check. I think, yes, exactly. I think they conceded a goal in every single game so far, and I could easily see Manchester City scoring at least 3-4 goals against them. Now, Man City are not in the best form, but that's due to Rodri, I believe, being out, and I think he's a very important player for this Man City team. And as soon as he gets back into the midfield, I expect the team to start performing a lot better once again, and Man City have to bounce back in this game against Brighton, because then they play Man United away, which, even though you might say Man United are a weak team, they always tend to turn up and play decent against Man City, so this is not really a auto win for Man City, I have to say. So I think they have to perform against Brighton. They have to get a comfortable win and to help the team boost for the future game weeks coming up, because they lost 2 games in a row now, so they are in a crisis. But I expect Man City to bounce back in this game against Brighton, and I'm very happy to have both of these players in this game. And the last player for my starting 11, Ward-Prowse. I hope he blanks this week, because I have a double Aston Villa defense, so hopefully they keep a clean sheet and James Ward-Prowse blanks. But this is a player that I believe I transferred in after Liverpool. I believe this game was the first game that I got him in, so he has had 2 blanks since I got him. Blank against Sheffield United, even though he ended up on 4 points because he got a bonus point, and now another blank against Newcastle as well. So I mean, if he blanks against Aston Villa again, then I might start thinking about moving him on, even though the fixtures coming up are amazing. It seems to be, I mean, he's nailed, that's great, that's a positive, but at the moment it seems that West Ham's attacks are going from the wings mostly, from Bowen's side and from the other side, and Ward-Prowse isn't really getting that involved. Hopefully this will change. I mean, I'm hoping he blanks in Game Week 9, but then Game Week 10 I'm most likely going to keep him for this week against Everton, but I would really want to get at least 1 return from him in Game Week 10. If not, then he will probably be on the chopping block from Game Week 11, even though, like I said, the fixtures are amazing. But for now, I'm going to keep him, and at least I'm hopeful to keep him for this game week. So technically, if the international break, if there are no injuries in my team, technically I don't really need to make any transfers for next week. My team is solid, and I could potentially roll the transfer, or I could make 1 or 2 transfers this week. So recently I have taken couple of hits in Game Week 8 and in Game Week 7, -4 hits. So I could potentially keep this going in Game Week 9 as well, but I don't really want to force it. If my team looks decent, I'm going to keep it that way. So let's talk about some transfer options for the next couple of game weeks, some players that I'm looking to get in my team. So the first team that I'm looking to focus on in the next couple of weeks is Arsenal. As you can see, I have no Arsenal players at the moment in my team, but I suspect this is going to change very soon. So I'm looking at least 1, possibly even 2 Arsenal attackers. So Game Week 9 they played Chelsea away, so I might not do any transfers from Arsenal for this week, because even though Chelsea hasn't been the best team defensively, it's still a derby, it's still unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen in this game. Maybe Chelsea go out and park the bus and make sure they keep a clean sheet. Maybe some player gets a red card and the game closes. It's really hard to predict. But after that, from Game Week 10, this is a game week in which I would like to have at least 2 Arsenal players in my team. So Gabriel Martinelli, he is the first player that I want to talk about. So he came back after an injury. He missed a couple of games and straight back in the team after the injury, and he gets the winner against Man City. So he's now fit, and Trossard really struggled in his absence, so he played instead of him on the left wing. But now definitely I think Martinelli will keep his starting place, as his prices at the moment is only 7.7, so very cheap. So for Game Week 10 he's probably my primary transfer, I would say, as it stands. I will definitely look to add him in my midfield. Now the question is for whom. I could, like I said, I could potentially transfer out Ward-Prowse if he blanks yet another week, but he will have a very decent fixture in Game Week 10. So I could potentially transfer him out, but at the moment I don't think I want to do that. Diaby, another player that has a really nice run of fixtures coming up. I mean, in Gaming 10 he plays Luton at home, so definitely not transferring him out for this week. So the one player that I might end up transferring out in Gaming 10 will be Son. So let's look at Spurs fixtures. So like I said, Gaming 9 is a great fixture for him to get some returns. But after that, Gaming 10, I mean Crystal Palace away, this game is listed as a 2, as a easy fixture, but it's definitely not an easy fixture for Spurs to score goals in. Crystal Palace have been one of the better, if not statistically maybe even the best defensive team so far this season. They have kept countless of clean sheets, and they don't give out that many chances. And Son Heung-min, like I said, he tends to miss a couple of chances a game, so he would need, I don't really think he would get that many returns in this game. After that, their Spurs fixtures are not the easiest. After this Crystal Palace, their fixtures are hard once again. So Chelsea, another derby, unpredictable game. Don't know what's going to happen in this one. Wolves away, another team that tends to play defensive football and doesn't really concede that many goals. Then Aston Villa, another great team. Man City, West Ham. So these are all fixtures that I would say are harder for Spurs, even though some of them are listed as a easy 2 and 3s. I don't see them being that way. So I could potentially transfer one of the two Spurs attackers in my team. I would rather keep James Maddison than Son, I have to say. James Maddison is probably the better option because his price is better. Let me just plug in my laptop really quick. So James Maddison's price is a lot better, I would say, and there we go. So I would probably transfer out Son Heung-min in Gaming 10, and I could potentially add Martinelli in his place, and then I would have to decide what to do with the rest of the money. I'm looking to get in an Arsenal defender as well, probably Saliba, so this would be a good gaming for me to get him in, maybe for some of the bench players. If not, I might even go for a double in the attack, so I don't know, I could potentially get Saka, but the problem is who to transfer out for him, or I could transfer out Julian Alvarez if he continues to blank again, because recently he hasn't really been in that great form and he tends to be subbed off early, so I might transfer him out as well, and I might look to add Gabriel Jesus in his place, so maybe I go with double Arsenal attack instead of a defender. This is another transfer option that I might end up doing. Or let's look at some other players that I think could be good transfer options coming up. So Chelsea, there is a player at Chelsea, Palmer, he's yellow flagged at the moment. So maybe not this week, and they have a hard fixture against Arsenal, but actually their fixtures are quite bad coming up. But the thing I wanted to say about Palmer is the fact that he's 4.9 million, so an amazing player for the bench, maybe for people that are wildcarding at the moment. He's on penalties for Chelsea, believe it or not. So last week he took their penalty, he scored it, and he got an assist as well against Burnley, 12 points for him. And the game before that also he got a return, so I think, I'm not quite sure how nailed he is, but I expect him to start games for Arsenal, for Chelsea a lot of the times, and for the price at 4.9, I think he's probably the best bench option to have at the moment. So definitely a player that if I was wildcarding, I would probably get in my team as the 8th attacker. Other than that, like I said, I'm looking at Arsenal players at the moment, focusing on them, and then one more player that I'm potentially looking to get is, instead of Ward-Prowse, potentially upgrade him to Bowen. I think it's becoming clear that Bowen is the best West Ham attacking option. I mean, I kinda knew that beforehand, but I went with Ward-Prowse because I didn't have the funds for Bowen. But I might have to do this transfer. Their run of fixtures is amazing coming up for West Ham, and if Ward-Prowse doesn't pick up his form, then I will need to add a different West Ham player to get some points from these amazing fixtures coming up. So I might at some point end up upgrading Ward-Prowse to Bowen. So these are some of my transfer plans for the game weeks coming up. These are the players that I'm looking to get. I might end up getting some of these players for this week for game week 9, or I might end up rolling the transfer and getting 2 or maybe 3 of those in game week 10. So that's my transfer plans for the moment. Now, one more thing to talk about is the wildcard. So I still have my wildcard ready. As you can see here, I haven't used it. And my plan for this season, for the first wildcard of the season, is to save it until the last possible game week in which I can use it, and that's game week 19. So if you're wondering why, let's go here. So in game week 18 is the game week in which Man City, and let me see, yes, it's removed, the fixture is removed from here, I don't see them. So Manchester City and Brentford are going to have a blank game week in game week 18. And then in game week 20, I don't think this has been confirmed, but I expect it is going to get confirmed at some point. In game week 20 is the game week in which Manchester City and Brentford will have a double game week. So Man City will play Sheffield United and Brentford at home, and Brentford will play Crystal Palace and Man City away. So this will probably be a double game week in game week 20. So I'm planning to play my wildcard around these 2 game weeks. So basically my plan is to transfer out all of my Man City options before game week 18 when they blank. So I'll probably look to transfer out Alvarez at around game week 15 or 16 maybe, and then transfer out Haaland as well in game week 16 or 17, and then in game week 19 I'm going to use my wildcard and I'm going to get 3 Man City players in my team. They play Everton away in game week 19. Also I'm gonna get at least 1, possibly 2 or 3 Brentford players as well, depending on their current form at the time. And then when I have these players and the rest of the team in game week 20, I would have hopefully by the time, if this game week gets announced as a double game week, of course, I would have at least 5, possibly even 6 double game week players for this week, and I will probably look to triple captain Haaland this week as well, because this will be 2 amazing features for him to get loads of goals in. So that's the plan for me at the moment for my wildcard. Let's see what happens. Like I said, from what I read, I expect that double game week 20 is going to be announced for these 2 teams. Then the question is when that will happen, but I'm still planning ahead, and I think that's when I'm going to most likely use my wildcard. So yeah, that's all that I have for today. It's been a long video so far, I assume. Game week 8 was a nice game week for my team, and hopefully game week 9 will be another nice game week as well, and hopefully it will be a sea of green arrows coming up for me and for all of you as well. So thanks everyone for watching the videos today. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you before the game week 9 deadline definitely once or maybe twice again. So yeah, that's all for today. See ya. Peace.